All right, we're here with the icon, Sting, here at Big Time Wrestling in Syracuse. And Sting, first off, welcome to Syracuse, and what a great turnout tonight.
Yeah, this reminds me of my humble beginnings, you know, but lots of people coming to say hello, shake hands, take a picture, sign an autograph, and talk about old times, man. It's always good.
Yeah, and certainly I was here for a little while. No fan left without a smile on their face, and that's a special thing. And we wanted to ask you just a couple quick wrestling questions as well.
Sure.
Going back from the days of the Blade Runners and Ultimate Warrior, I mean, so it goes back.
You actually remember the Blade Runners?
Well, I was a little young then, but
yeah, you did some studying, didn't you?
We do a little studying.
Yeah, Blade Runners. Yeah, that was the not the very beginning, but very close. I mean, we started out as Jim Hellwig and myself. Jim later became the Ultimate Warrior, and he went his way and I went mine. But we started out as a tag team. First as the Freedom Fighters in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, for a very tiny little wrestling organization, and then moved on to a little bit bigger one. And we, after that, split ways, and he became the Ultimate Warrior, and I became Stinger. You know?
And the rest, they say, is history, obviously, with the Stinger.
Yep, the rest, they say, is history. That's correct.
And I know that going back, you know, doing some studying and things like that, Nature Boy Ric Flair, who was in Syracuse not too long ago, a couple years ago for the over the hockey program they have here as well. But
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, he was here. It was pretty cool. But for you guys, you say that Ric Flair really elevated your status in wrestling. Take us back to that.
Well, I mean, Rick was an established, huge, big national, at the time national, probably he was international as a matter of fact at that time. Big, huge name, and I was just a young kid, a little, you know, kind of curtain jerker kind of a wrestler. And, you know, he had an opponent that got injured, and the promoters, Dusty Rhodes, who was actually promoting at that time and wrestling, said, you know, we got to find somebody for Rick. And so he put the kid Sting in there with Ric Flair at the very first Clash of Champions, Greensboro, North Carolina, March of 1988.
Wow.
And we wrestled 45 minutes commercial free, which that was I think it's still a record, the biggest, longest sporting event of any kind, or entertainment type event, commercial free, 45 minutes. It was on TBS, and we wrestled. It was a world title match, and of course it was the draw. So he kept the title, but that really put me on the map.
Yeah, it's certainly, you know, mowing everything down from that point on. And not many people ask you this question, but I had to ask you this tonight if I had the opportunity to talk with you. You know, when the NWO was formed back in '96, you were in the ring, and, you know, so much turmoil happened from that point on with the NWO taking things over. Obviously, Crow Sting was developed from there as well. But being in the ring at one of those turning point, hallmark moments in wrestling, looking back on it today, how special is that?
It was a different time for sure. It was special. I don't know how to describe. Wrestling fans were really changing. Wrestling was changing, and you know, fans wanted to see something a little bit more gritty, you know, a little darker, a little more mysterious, whatever. And you know, my character changed, and but you know, the moment that I remember, to answer your question, one of the defining moments was in Daytona Beach, and Luger and me, you know, we're in the ring, and Hall and Nash and Hogan. You know, Hogan becomes Hollywood Hogan, and I mean, the fans trashed the ring. They threw trash. I mean, I'm in the fetal position like this, you know, just hoping I don't get hit by, you know, whatever's thrown in the ring. But it started just a crazy time in wrestling. I mean, that was a defining moment and a big change. Characters changed, you know.
Yeah.
So
Starrcade '97. I mean, unbelievable buy rate. The turning of the tide, so to speak, for WCW then. One of my last quick questions there is that pay-per-view, to go out there and beat Hogan, certainly, you were certainly at that point a made profession at that point, made man at that point, but to get that done was pretty special too.
Oh yeah, I mean, to wrestle, you know, Hulk, especially Hulk Hogan at that particular time, for all the marbles, as they say, you know, big audience too. So, I mean, attendance records were broken, pay-per-view buy rates were broken, You know, that pay-per-view I think was the biggest pay-per-view in the history of all pay-per-views, any kind. You know, at that particular time. So, good days, good times.
And Sting, my last question for tonight. Obviously, you mentioned it meant so much to you to go to one WrestleMania and to be a part now of the WWE Hall of Fame. Just an incredible honor. But did things, obviously with the injuries, is that the way you wanted to end? Probably not the best way, but Hall of Fame stamp on top of everything is outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot complain. The bottom line is, last match I had, yes, I got injured, and it was a bad injury. But I went out wrestling one of the best, Seth Rollins, and it was for the WWE World Title. I mean, what a way to go out. World title match. I cannot complain. I have no complaints. I did everything I could possibly do in this business, it seems. So I'm satisfied.
Sting, thank you so much. And any final messages to the people in Syracuse from the icon Sting?
Yeah, you know what? It's just good to be able to come back to these towns and these stadiums, and it reminds me of the beginning days when I first started, and you know, wrestling fans are always so respectful, and I appreciate all the fans. I want you to know that. So many of them have so many nice things to say about so many years. Thank you for all the years of entertaining us, and it's just like I want to say thank you for watching all these years. And there's so many, from little kids all the way up to grandparents. You know, so I reach quite a few.
Excellent.
Pretty cool deal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A cool deal. The icon Sting. Big time wrestling tonight here in Syracuse.